That's fire.
Forget all that nonsense. All right, it's live. We're good. Music's off.
I'm
I
not
think.
hearing you guys.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Mr. Wellington, can you hear us?
So,
Mike, the floor is yours, buddy.
let's see.
I don't think you can hear us yet.
Oh. Well, hello, everyone. This is the devOSH.
I'm not sure what's going on with my headset.
Can you hear us? Well,
Hey,
while Mike's doing that, why don't you guys just introduce? We just do a little
Taking off
round of
my headset.
introduction.
Head of hardware can't figure out his hardware, unfortunately.
We're using built-in speakers from my laptop.
There you go.
It's kind of clicky and it's going to be echoing probably, but my head, like everything was working last week. Looks like you changed my
Kevin,
my
are you
host
using your
status
own blur
too.
effect? Like, is this from Camo? Nah, man. Yeah, why
Yeah, it's so much better.
not? So much better.
Yeah,
Like, this is so crisp.
Yeah, so you can actually you can do effects through like your, say you did like a setup with for streaming, like you can actually use the feed instead of your camera if you
Right,
wanted
yeah.
to do a board.
I've always wanted. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but NVIDIA has NVIDIA Broadcast, and they
No, that
actually
looks terrible.
it recenters
Where
your
their
eyes.
Your eyes
Yeah.
stare forward the whole time, no matter where you point your head, and you
Always
look
Seriously?
any valley. Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, it's probably scary. Like you don't want to scare little children away,
I tried it.
or do you? Yeah.
Depends on the hardware, I guess.
It's
Yeah.
Jensen's marketing stunt right there. That nobody
Yeah.
actually uses that.
Not yet. So,
All right, well,
if you
let's
haven't
do.
noticed,
Yeah, go for it.
we started streaming. So, hello everyone. This is devOSH Live, and we're here to talk about open hardware and share openly about open hardware projects that we're working on. For the last number of weeks, we have been working on the Maker Chip project. Mostly Kevin rocking on the Maker Chip project and taking our feedback. So that is kind of like the big project, but he doesn't have as much to present today. So I thought we'd, after I guess he does his little short blurb about Maker Chip status, we can go on and talk about Open Hardware Summit, which is happening this weekend. And I can share my screen with some links for Open Hardware Summit. It's in Berlin, so chances are you're not going if you didn't register already. But they do have a live stream. And if you wanted to catch some of those talks, I know we have, I think I saw that maybe David Groom's going to be there. So that maybe we can catch up with him, see what he has to say about the show and what he saw there, all the neat stuff. And we can, after we kind of go over like the Open Hardware Summit kind of happenings, I can point us at the link for the live stream that they're doing, and then we can go look at their open hardware registration they have at OSHWA. So we can look at certified open hardware, maybe take some ideas from there, and maybe see what's out there, what we can use for inspiration for our other projects. And then we can do a small survey or like a poll at the end of the call to kind of pick out like what the next big project's going to be. So after a maker chip's done, which it's going to happen, it's not going to be a never-ending story. We need to have a new thing to zero in on, a new focus. And I get a bunch of like kind of, hey, we could do this or that tickets for the repository, but we could add more, and we can take kind of either participant feedback or audience feedback, and say, hey, what do we want to do next? I want to do like a poll would be cool, and I actually talked to Fixer about this. So like deveco.io doesn't really have like polling mechanism, but we could probably use something like Google polls or surveys or something like that.
I mean, Discord has polling. I'm assuming you can do polling in devEco.
Yeah, I think the problem is we're not all in Discord. The people that can participate.
That's fair. Maybe they should be.
Well, I think
they want to vote, but they have to,
if they want to vote,
have to like be invited in, right?
That feels a little gatekeepy, and I want to stay away from that a little bit. I want to make sure that people.
Didn't we just do it? Didn't we just do it on GitHub? Like, didn't we just like open an issue or something?
Yeah, we could do that, or we could just. I mean,
everybody open a pull request with your vote,
or you can just.
We'll pick one to merge,
and we'll tally it manually at the end of the show.
We'll figure something out. I like that. How controversial are the projects allowed to be?
It can be, as long as it's not like, inappropriate, like, for like children, I guess.
Okay. I don't have any controversial projects in mind. I figured somebody would ask. Might as well be me.
Whoa, Kevin, what are you trying to?
Hey.
Well, controversial is in the eyes of the beholder.
Technically, if you're in California right now, 3D printing is illegal. So, hey, it can be pretty controversial. So,
yeah, does it cause cancer too?
Oh, everything causes cancer in California.
All of it. Warning: this stream is causing cancer right now. If you're watching,
yeah. So if you're watching, your eyes are getting cancer. Right in the
living is causing cancer right now. You should stop immediately, or else you will get cancer.
Yeah. So,
anyways,
I guess let's pick it up, since I kind of biffed on the start of the show. Let's get the quickie update on the maker chip, and then
there's an agenda to this.
Well, yeah, pseudo agenda. I have to come up with something so that we can talk for an hour.
We can always figure something to talk about. No worries. Yeah. Hey, let me kind of take over a little bit then.
You want to pop up?
Yeah. I'll share my screen. I don't have too big an update today. It's been a busy week, but I have definitely made a lot of progress to it. And I've been really trying to figure out how to use different kinds of tools, KiCad, a couple different AI tools, and even our own protoboard tool. To build that PCB for the actual maker chip. And I kind of wanted to show off the progress of that, just kind of, letting everybody see exactly what that looks like.
Okay.
Share my screen here. I am, yes.
All right.
Calendar.
Just docs your account.
Stuff done.
All right. So right now,
that on post.
Yeah, I'm in post. That's right. My bad. So right now I've got a local repo. This is just a clone of the current. I think I made a separate, because I didn't exactly know how this would interact with the actual GitHub repo for the Maker Chip project. So I branched off and just made my own repo just for testing. But what I did in here was I essentially started building this project inside of Protoboard. And I carried over that concept in that project to TS Circuit, which is, and I'll pull it up here. It's just, I feel like I'm just going to touch on it really, really quickly. We've talked about this before, but TS Circuit is absolutely amazing. These guys are building a foundation for having, creating tools like for Claude Code for Codex to build and understand what PCBs actually are and helping you generate those. And
these guys were actually, they were at Open Sauce. They'll probably be at Open Sauce. Again, the creator, Steve, he was there. He's a big on Twitter and stuff. He's always making some really interesting things. Like their big pitch obviously is like AI can do circuits, can do electronics now. But really what it was at the first part and what it actually is it's electronics, but you're designing your schematic and layout using React code. So so it's like you're using web dev to do circuitry. And that allows you to, I guess, like he's got a renderer, so you can render it online. You know, he's got built-in renderer. You can sort of generate the React code and then spin up the sort of browser view of the code. And I think it does, you know, the live refresh, all that stuff. And he's also been working on an auto routing algorithm for a while. And he's got like a really cool, it looks really advanced by now. He's got it's an open source project, right? So he's got a lot of contributors. His Discord, he's showing, I think he's contributed like $7,000 to his open source people by now, because he does like the bounty system where people build for him and then like they get $50 here, $50 there for adding features. But really, really cool project.
Yeah, it is a really cool project. I highly recommend looking at it. And we love seeing tools like this because we want to use tools like this. And it was really cool to see how we can take, you know, a simple idea and very rapidly come up with, you know, a blueprint for it, a PCB design for it that's, you know, manufacturer ready. So right now I'm in the process of refining this, more so understanding exactly how this works, because I do have another easy EDA file project where this PCB is already almost pretty much fully built, but I wanted to really see, you know, what does it take to recreate this in other tools, and this was one of them. As a great screen right now, nice and blank for you to wait for this to render. So, but I'll go back to the PCB layout, I guess, since it's the only thing you can see at the moment. I've got like 10 billion things open, so my computer is being extra slow today. So yeah, so that is the current status of the Makerchip design. And for the initial version that we're building here, stop sharing my screen here. We're trying to make it super simple. It's going to be a 3-layer PCB sandwich. And what we want to do is we want to add some passives and some LEDs on there, and a small, like incredibly small microcontroller where we can program certain patterns into the LED, so that when you first power it on, you can cycle through different patterns. It gets you the most functionality without actually having to build a whole lot of components, or, you know, margin of error kind of increases the more components you have. So this was our first real, what I call Makerchip 3.0, which is a PCB design, and it has the embedded magnet system, the Pogo Pen interface system, and ideally, I think after I kind of, hopefully this week, I kind of finish up some of the design, we can start working on the actual base that it will interface with to deliver power and program to the system. So I think that one's going to be a bigger project, because I'd like to do like a USB-C extension where you can hook up your computer and upload firmware, or maybe we can talk about, you know, building a small little GUI in order to, you know, upload your own little program, or, you know, have an LED pattern that you can I don't know. There's a lot of little cool things you can do there once we get to the state of, we know what the device is, we can start working on some of the software and firmware.
Right. So you want to be able to program the EDR at Mega or whatever you got on there from the base.
I think it's an AT-Tiny.
AT-Tiny, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that you're probably going to use like a in-circuit programmer for that, basic in-circuit programmer, or I think they might have a USB bootloader, but you still need to program it originally with like the in-circuit programmer. Usually,
right? Like, to get it, it's like JTAG or something, or
something like that. SWD.
Yeah.
So once you get the bit stream on there, or the firmware, you can add a bootloader if you wanted. Right. But AT-Tiny isn't. I don't think it has a built-in USB, but it might be able to bit bang emulate it or something. I wouldn't bother. if you're going to have some brains on the base, you can have the USB interface and any kind of brains it needs to program the top.
Yeah, that was the goal. Yeah, so the chip it has 8 pogo pins, pads at the bottom, and so that will interface with the pogo pins in the base, or what I call the dock, because it docks to the magnet. And those pins will be connected. So the base was going to have a much more robust power delivery and usability out of it. We'll have the USB-C on there. We'll have test points. We can add a bunch of other features where it will interface with the poker chip, with the maker chip, through the dock, through the base, and you don't have to have any additional USB-C or anything like that on the chip itself. It'll just interface with it. So keeping it nice and streamlined.
Yeah, I'd like to make a version of it myself. So if you have the mechanicals for the layers of the printed circuit boards, just the mechanicals and the centers of the pogo pins.
I do.
It's three circles, one with 2 circles in the middle, and then just pogo pads on the bottom, and then they have assigned pin functions, I'm assuming, somewhat.
Yep.
There's power and ground.
Yes, that's it exactly. So the pin arrangement can be changed. It's not set in stone yet. I set it up to have 8 pins. You don't need all 8 pins, but I wanted to have future expansion capabilities to it. So if you wanted to swap it out for a different chip or whatever,
more pins is better.
Yeah. So that was kind of my go-to.
At least 4, so you could have, say, like a UART or I2C or something come up to the, or use a couple of GPIOs. Any kind of signaling would be better than just power and ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do 17 data pins, Kevin.
Yeah,
so
I think that would be
16 bits bit width.
Oh my
in
god!
Parallel.
Well, we got to deal with physics. Pogo pins take a certain amount of space.
Technically, I could technically do it, but we still want to be able to put a design on the back somewhere that the pads would take up the whole entire chip.
Kevin, the pogo pins are the design. Just put them in a cool pattern.
Oh my gosh.
Be the design.
Custom for each board? I don't think so.
No. All the same design. We decided.
Yeah, of course it'll be like
the Delta logo. That's all you get. Yeah, that's all you get.
That's cheating.
Make QR code out of pogo pins, and then sorry guys, this is the standard. It's not my fault. It goes to our website.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Nobody's gonna adopt it.
Really? You wouldn't do that?
No, I would make my own standard and then just go on my way, because it's really I'm thinking 8 pins is sufficient.
I don't believe you, Michael. If there's one thing I know about you, it's that you're always selling yourself, just constantly. You're just always talking about Michael.
No, I don't do that. What the standard? Well, that's when you adhere to some kind of guidelines that,
USB-C is a standard.
Well, yeah, but not for the pogo pins. I mean,
no.
I don't think. Is there even? I don't even think there is like a pogo pin standard unless you count like specific to a device.
Well,
I mean, like the pogo pins are,
they're fairly standard. But the spacing, I think, is kind of one of the things that you have to watch out for with the landing pogos, because you can't put them too close together. You'll find this out when you make test fixtures for boards. If you put them too close, then you have to use special pogos.
Concave,
yeah, and it's no fun. So just make them at least, like 100 mils apart or something like that.
I mean, I've done several pogo pin projects in the past, both successfully and unsuccessfully. And most pogo pins, especially most pogo pin manufacturers, they have a really good spec sheet on spacing, arrangement, frequency. There's a lot of high frequency stuff that these pins can go through. So the spacing is kind of important on generating any RF feedback. But for the most part, it's pretty like ubiquitous. Like you can have any shape, any style, whatever you want for pogo pins. There's no one set standard arrangement.
Yeah.
The closest thing I could think of, Mark, is actually the Apple MagSafe for their MacBooks.
Yeah.
That is standard for Apple, so you can, it's cross compatible, but nobody else really adopted that standard outside of Apple. In fact, I think they might have patented, so nobody could do that.
Of course, yeah, but they have something similar, right? For like
oh yeah, of course, yeah. So there's USB-C is the best standard for power delivery for laptops. I think that's pretty universal. But there's a couple like the Surface Pro. Microsoft Surface Pro, they have their own magnetic. It's technically not pogo pin. It's like this like leaf design, but it's magnetic. It's weird.
Yeah.
But it more or less.
It's a pogo pin.
Frustrating.
Kevin, show what a pogo pin is.
Yes. Let
me pull it up. I'll share my screen.
There we go.
I was thinking about that while we were talking. I was like, we really probably should just show what we're looking at.
Millmax.com. All right, so pogo pin. Pogo pin is something that you put onto a PCB board that has a electrical contact, but it's springy, so you have some compliance in there. Pogo pin.
Yeah, I have some on
PCB.
This guy, some little springy things here.
Here you go. So here's a connector example. I did not mean to open that page, but oh well. There's AliExpress. So you've got these springy bits, and then you've got the landing pads, and then you put the two together, you have a really solid connection. And these bad boys, I mean, they're rated for some pretty high current. They're pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I think like the most ubiquitous device I've seen them on is like the Surface Pros, the laptops, or sorry, the laptop keyboard snaps on the bottom, and it uses pogo pins. I don't know if other devices. There are obviously a bunch. I don't know any common ones.
From what I heard, that the Nokia brick phones used to be snapped together with pogo pins. There wasn't any solder between the boards. It just made it more robust.
Yeah, my mouse is pretty. It's great now. It's like I think they just use like a sort of a MagSafe style now. But like my last mouse had 2 pogo pins on it, and I would put it on a dock.
Yeah.
So it's just any sort of like just quick interface that isn't like this magnetic sort of inductance thing. Pogo pin was what people used before that, which I do think that's an interesting next project potentially, is like doing the inductive. The inductive would be interesting.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, but I want to do like an NFC powered apparatus, and I'd also like to do the standard wireless charging circuitry. See how that like plays out. And they have some things on like Adafruit to experiment. You can find different things, so we can try them out. That'll be fun. So yeah, that's cool. So next week we'll probably have a little bit more. I mean, I'm assuming you're going to continue to whittle away at the Makerchip until we have at least one electrical proto, one magnetic one is already kind of done, right?
Yeah, I've got a fully 3D printed magnetic prototype, like all of that. In fact, I've got it on right now.
Yeah, you showed the clip last week, but you didn't have the magnetic piece. Yeah.
So I've got one on my hat right now. So this is, oops, my camera filters it out, but I've got a QR code to our website in the back, and then I've got our logo here, and then it magnetically snaps to
the band. Yes,
hat clip.
He's super happy. You got to get one ready for him, huh?
Yes, I do. So he sent over, Robert actually sent over a couple designs, and I am actually building some for him right now. I was going to try to get these printed today, but I definitely ran out of time. So they're kind of just on standby for me to get those shipped out. But these guys are a ton of fun. It's such a good, satisfying snap too.
They're very cool. That's like kind of his. He envisioned this like last time, like last year sometime, and now it's actually happening. So I think that's pretty exciting. All right, so before we jump to talking about the Open Hardware Summit, does Fixer want to jump on and say anything about DevEco happenings real quick?
Actually, I'm good. I'll come on at the end.
Okay. So then I'll jump into sharing, and we'll look at the Open Hardware Summit and hopefully get some fun ideas from it. So present, share screen. All right. And we'll just do entire screen like we're not supposed to. Good. All right. So, oh, you don't want that on. All right. So here, if you wanted to look at the Open Hardware Summit information, just go to this URL here, 2026oshflaw.org. This is their landing page for this year's summit. And you can go back in time and see the previous summits by just changing the year here. So what exactly is Open Hardware Summit and why of course, it ties into our stream because, hey, that's kind of what we're doing here is open hardware. So Open Hardware Summit was started in 2012, or it's been around for a long time. I actually participated in 2 or 3 summits and actually helped with the badge design for 2 of them. You can attend this thing in person. So if you were in, Germany, I would recommend it, and you can get your tickets online here. So they're a nonprofit, so they do kind of hosting and kind of best practices for open hardware, and you can go through the page, kind of see about the different things, and you'll notice we got a lot of sponsors that you might actually know, like Jumperless, Hackster, Guard Supply. These are kind of names you hear a lot around. Pimeroni, Beagle Board, oddly specific, Joey. There's a lot of hardware folks that actually sponsor this thing and attend, so it's really fun to get to meet some of the people that are doing the same thing as what we're doing, which is open, collaborative innovation and hardware.
Yeah, this is really cool. How would you compare this to? I mean, something like Open Sauce or like the Edge AI conference. Is this
right.
just companies too, or is this also? And there's like open source groups here.
This is mostly open, like individual contributors, and it's open hardware specific. So all those companies are just sponsoring the event. They're not necessarily. They might have exhibits, but they're not going to present. Usually, some of them will, but most of them are just there, kind of to support the efforts. And I think maybe Beagleboard or like oddly specific, they might actually present occasionally, but a lot of the times they just do that funding, so they get a ticket and they're also helping the event out. So if you want to look at the talks, they're all here. There's going to be quite a bit of different things. It's usually a diverse crowd. So this, say like Hackaday SuperCon, it's kind of similar. And yeah, open source is also kind
of... The gong means a question is landed.
Okay. So what's the question?
It does.
Let me jump over to where do I see the questions at? Okay, what desktop environment is that? So I am currently using Cinnamon on Debian 4-key, which is not standard, but I got used to Cinnamon from Mint, like way back, and I liked it, so I kept it. And they have, so that's what this is. If you like it, it's pretty easy to install. I've also tried the GNOME and KDE stuff. I started out with KDE, and I kind of switched over to Cinnamon. I don't know, lots of years ago, and I just kind of stuck with it.
What would you say the advantage is over just I just run an Ubuntu desktop. So what do you think?
The advantages are just kind of familiarity. Like this looks a lot like Windows, but like with Ubuntu, there's the icons on the side, and there's all sorts of weirdness there. But yeah, I don't know that I like the theme that much for like most of the time. I like kind of a blue theme, and yeah, it's up to you, personal preferences. I really don't. I'm not like a zealot or anything about my window manager or anything.
Yeah.
But so that if you're in Germany, go check it out. If you're not, you can go to the YouTube channel, and you can see the live stream. It is actually here. So if you wanted to, it looks like it starts at 2:00 in the morning because, of course, it's in Germany. So this is live stream, but you can always go back and look at it after you wake up in the morning. So if you wanted to watch it tomorrow, you want to go ahead and post that link, Fixer.
Just out of curiosity, I'm sure somebody has this question, but I'm assuming you don't have to know German to attend the event.
No, it's English speaking. It used to be hosted in the United States until that became less advantageous because of geopolitical. And
wonder why.
It moved to Canada last year, and it's in Germany this year, which it's in English. There's
how is this a fairly? I've never heard of it, so this is the first time you're hearing of it. Is this a fairly new event? How long have they been around?
They've been around for 20 years. It's been around for more than that. Let's see, how long was it? We can always check their home site and see about Oshwa. It's been around it's at least since 2012. I think it's maybe before that, like 2010 era.
I realize now that is a long time. 2012 was like yesterday, last year, I think. That's what it feels like.
Yes, there's a Pocket Beagle. Yeah, if you guys seen that guy around, but yeah, this looks like they're doing like a little solder challenge over here. But these events, there's one in 2023. Let's see. I'm not seeing when they started. I know it was 2011 was the earliest one I remember.
Kevin,
I mean, you can always Google it when Oshwa was founded.
I could do that. Let's do that. You should probably share the link to this page. Somebody Google it for me. That'd be great.
I'm doing it right now.
Awesome. All right, and then you can check them out. I would look at the talk list and see if there's anything in there that sparks an interest, and then kind of find it in the stream when you wake up in the morning on Saturday. I guess it's the first day of the event.
Okay. Hey, I need to jump off, guys. We got some time. I think Kevin, did you want to show that other project off potentially?
Yeah, we'll get to it here at the end here a little bit. I think we have got some extra time at the end. I'll try to slide it in there.
Okay. Yeah, we get an hour, so we got a few minutes. If you want to just tack it on at the end after kind of the quickie update from Fixer, if he has anything.
Right.
And
I'm gonna hop.
Okay.
It's good seeing you guys.
Mark.
See you next week.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Mark. 2012. I looked it up. You were spot on. 2012 is when they founded Oshwa. I don't know if they were doing stuff before then, but that's what it said.
Yeah, well, they wanted to standardize kind of the definition of open hardware, and a lot of like companies came together and did that. But yeah, and individual contributors, of course. But if you wanted to look at the projects that are actually certified for OSHWA certified, that means self-certified. So you have to go through and find like something that you might be interested in. Say you wanted to look for like a servo driver or something like that. Looks like servos are really popular. Okay, so then we click on the one we want to look at, and it looks like Adafruit and SparkFun are kind of like the big contributors. But let's look at one that's not one of those two. Here's Protein. This is from 2017, so it might be a little old, but let's click it. And then you can click on the project website, and if it's still around, then you can check it out. But this one looks like it's a dead link. Frowny face. They should check their links. Let's go back. I know I actually contributed to this, so I know that you can find things on it. There's Low 5 was a RISC-V microcontroller board that I did 2017. That's a RISC-V board that I made. So let's click on this one. I think it brings to, yeah. So a lot of times it'll bring you to a Git repository or a web page, informational web page about the project, and then it'll, if it meets the qualifications, which is having a compatible license and all the different pieces, which is the source schematic and PCB design files, and the BOM, which tells you like what components are going to go on the board. So that's kind of the requirement.
Man, I had no idea. Are there other certifications or standards in the open source hardware that you're aware of? Because I would love to make the MakerChip project a certified OSHWA product.
So if you want to do that, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. So the thing is, as long as you abide by the standards of open hardware, you self-proclaim your certification at OSHWA. I don't know how good they're checking it, but I think there might be a little bit of checking. But once you certify it, it just gives you this UID, which will be the country that you're in, and kind of the the increment of the next project in that country. So, like, let's say Beagle board. What do they got? So they got all sorts of stuff. So I know these guys will have some good links. And then, yeah, so it really depends on what how you want to present the hardware. Like, this is a link to kind of an informational page, but the open source hardware requires that you have like schematics that you can actually modify. Here's the design here. So they posted it on their own personal Git server, and yeah, you can actually look at like the design files for this. And sadly, these are in a proprietary CAD format, but I actually did a conversion for this so that you can use KiCad to look at it. And I also made a 3D model for it for Pocket Beagle 2 to kind of celebrate their release. I worked with them early on on the Pocket Beagle, or before the Pocket Beagle. So it was kind of a nostalgic project I did recently. I made that breakout board as well that you may or may not have seen. on the devOSH.io.
Yeah. I do my best to try to keep up with the feed, going through devOSH and all the other channels. Every now and then, I definitely have a lot of projects that slip through, but I've been trying to keep up with, and I've been meaning to update this as well. We've got a project board here, and I haven't done a good job of keeping that up to date.
Yeah, but yeah, so like that's kind of the idea of OSHWA is kind of like, hey, if you abide by these standards and you self-proclaim that you will abide by these standards, you can apply for a license, and then you can put the stamp of the certification mark on the hardware itself, or packaging that the hardware comes with. It's just kind of a logo.
Ah, okay.
You may have seen these around.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I've definitely seen serial numbers with that logo on there before. That makes a whole lot more sense. I've also seen, what was the other one? It's is there another standard called Open? It's like it's a gear that has like, it's a open standard.
That's the Open Hardware logo that actually came around when they first started. I don't know that they it's kind of the unofficial logo of the effort. That means that it's open hardware, at least in heart. Not certified necessarily.
I gotcha. Okay, so it's like a trademark versus registered. The difference between
the two. People put it on their boards. I think I put it on a couple boards before.
Is it owned? Is that trademark, or is the logo, the icon, is that owned or created by OSHWA?
It is it was actually designed through a contest, and it is Creative Commons. I think it's share alike.
I gotcha.
So anybody can use it as long as they, contribute. Like, of course, it's like, that it's the same logo if it's the same logo. What happened there? Did we lose capture for a second?
I think you were just sharing your screen, and what we're seeing right now is our own image. Like, it's just repeating pattern.
Weird. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the share because it's acting weird. All right, and is Fixer still around? Does he want to jump in and say anything? We got anybody in the audience that might want to throw in some comments?
Hello.
He's back.
How's it going, guys?
Are you doing all right over there?
I'm doing okay.
Were you crying?
Tired. What?
No, I'm kidding.
What did you say?
Your eyes look a little puffy.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm really tired. Got hit with a lot of good stuff, but of course that just means busier.
Yeah.
So I had to knock out a bunch of stuff. But in terms of devOSH announcements, I guess we're still just chugging along. I mean, I'm actually super proud of this initiative. I've been kind of somewhat intentionally sitting behind the scenes, enjoying the production side of things and watching you guys have fun and carry the whole hour, which is really cool. It also allows me to kind of play around and practice some of the production items. But they say don't build your castles in other people's kingdoms, right? It's a community motto. And we don't have kingdoms to build in. And so as developers, we invest our time and we invest our resources and effort into platforms that aren't protected and aren't open. And so, in an effort to combat that a little bit and level the playing ground, level the playing ground? We released devOSH.io. So it's still in early access. It's still in, I want to call it open alpha. It won't really officially be launched or necessarily talked about broadly until July. But y'all can take a look at it. This is an open source content hosting platform. New features will be added over time. This is your opportunity to kind of go in there and take a look and make an account and post your projects, add your SEO coverage, whatever you want to do. And then if you have ideas for new features, if you want to submit a pull request yourself, you can go to the repo and submit an issue or fork the code and have some fun. Yeah. That said, I do look forward to kind of seeing where this all goes, right? We do want to provide a mechanism for funds, money, to flow from the industry or the corporations to the people who are building content. And we want to try to do that in an automated or as automated way as possible. Means reducing admin, reducing bureaucracy, reducing overhead. This means if there's an admin who's, helping the site, maintaining it or doing something, they're most likely also submitting content to the site. And so it's kind of like a way to hopefully get your content out there, build your portfolio in an open source space that's, as protected as we can make it. And then there's no what I call I don't want to say the bad word, but the we're not listening switch, when a corporation comes in.
Yeah.
So there is no agenda. It's community run. It's right now devEco governed, right? And we're an open source community. But for the most part, we do look forward to evolving this with everyone who wants to be a part of it.
Cool. Yeah, we've covered it a couple times. I just wanted to see if there's anything like we wanted to kind of bring up this week specifically.
I mean, there's Developers Anonymous is tomorrow.
Oh yes, that's definitely if you're on the devEco server, you can actually jump on a Discord stream and hang out. Do you guys do a broadcast of the Devonon, or just kind of go?
No, it's so Developers Anonymous. I'm gonna put this right here. Discord.gg devEco. So there's an application process. We do, while it's an open community, we do like to say we're a high integrity open community. So there are no bots in there. There's no scammers, spammers. We try our best. So there's an application process to get into our Discord server. That said, it's an off the record meetup, and it's kind of intentional so that people can seek support and talk about things without worrying about being recorded and broadcasted out. So
looking over their back.
Yeah. Developers Anonymous. And so show up, share stories. If you're having any trouble with something, maybe someone else is going through a similar issue and you want to talk about it. If you just got let go and you want some advice, or you want to network and expand on skill sets, or find that new friend you want to collaborate with, there's lots of cool stuff going on. And the thing is that it doesn't matter if there's 100 people there or one person there, right? Like, as long as someone gets value out of it, that's why we do it, and we just keep doing it every month.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so if you have a chance, jump in on the server and hang out. It is not open hardware specific, but we're not going to stop you from talking about open hardware.
We did. There is an open hardware channel in the devEco that
right. Well, I mean, for the
keep going from here.
Devonon, the actual.
Oh yeah,
video part. Yeah.
Oh, we got some comments here. Oh, Tyeth, what's up? You look good on YouTube. Thanks, Mark. You look good on YouTube. What's Tyeth got to say? While doing some SBC testing last week, found the Dragon board. Almost went and added some logic level converters. Oh yeah, the Dragon board with its 2.0 millimeter pitch and 1.8 volt output. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, there were reasons behind it, but it just couldn't compete.
It was tough. Well, 1.8 only makes sense for mobile, and like a lot of the SoCs, it's like logic levels for most of the standard stuff is 3.3. So you have a bunch of level translators. Like the RoboMezzi board that I designed actually has 3 different kinds of level translators on it. So it's kind of fun.
I got this one.
Oh, you still have one?
Yeah, bro. Of course.
Which one is that?
This is a legacy.
Yes, that was the one from the where was that one from?
It doesn't have pin soldered on. This was I think this was to put a Raspberry Pi header on. So it converted the 2 millimeter to the 2.54 millimeter.
Yeah. I remember this one. I think the guys in Brazil maybe did that.
Dude, like no joke. This is what one of my drawers looks like. It's literally just full.
Yeah, you got a. I thought you were gonna make like a display case or something.
No, I got them all displayed up here now. So I started putting the 96 boards on these racks, so now I can like pull them out.
Oh, cool! I like that. 96 boards. Do you have 96?
These are all 96 boards now, and I got to keep screwing them in there. I got to keep putting them in.
Yeah, it's too bad that standard is kind of like dangling now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like, don't the Raspberry Pis, they take the 1.8 volt and they jack it up to 3.3, right? Because a Broadcom chip is 1.8 volt.
I'm not sure about that. I haven't done a whole lot of designs based on the CM5 or Pi 5. I think the I/O on the header is 3.3 compatible though, except for whatever signals that aren't, like. I think that they usually go by banks, and if you apply the voltage that you want for that bank, say you want a bank of 3.3 volts, then that bank will all be 3.3 volts, and you don't have to do any level translators. You kind of set up the chip the way you want it. But a lot of the boards guys, they wanted 1.8 signaling.
We talked about this, I think, Mike, like going and asking Lenaro if they would donate 96 boards and the assets and the brand and everything to devEco.
Yeah. How'd that go?
We talked about this. I talked about it with you, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Did it happen?
The standards. It was about the standards. Well, I actually might have some discussions about it soon. We'll see. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. You won't get it if you don't ask, right? I mean, like if they're not doing anything with it,
Well, the companies that are making boards, do they still make 96 board compliant SBCs out there?
I think that's not really the point of it. The whole point of it is to bring some visibility to the action of 96 boards being absorbed, and then completely redoing the spec.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, hey, the 96 board spec is no longer 2.0 millimeter. Now it actually we can completely rip the whole specs apart. Right?
Yeah, I think we could just do that anyways. Yep, because I think it's an open standard, right?
No, we could, but then we would be building like we're building. We could just do that, right? But I'm saying like if there was a little bit of a spectacle behind it.
Yeah. Well,
there might be some traction,
nostalgia in the heart of some people that worked on 96 boards, or they
had. You can see it just came up right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of how I know you. It's 96 boards.
So. Well, I mean, like I don't know how innovative or revolutionary it really was, but I got praised pretty heavily for the documentation repo that I built out. I guess like because I built like it was like a web, right? You were trying to identify which documents and instructions were the same across the different 96 boards, which ones were different. And so like, you were taking this journey, but there was an experience behind it slightly. And it was on GitHub, but then we rendered it onto a website so people could go and modify stuff and add stuff to it without us needing to maintain it. It was pretty cool, but it started from zero. So
yeah, you did a good job. And I think the community kind of grew, but it didn't reach critical mass. And it kind of fizzled out.
Well, I mean, we talked about this, Mike. Like in a way, I don't like saying that it ruined it, but Raspberry Pi had a very strange effect on the hardware ecosystem because you couldn't compete with speed bin Broadcom chips and a nonprofit foundation that had all of these subsidies and were able to charge that when like people truly did need these stronger, more capable boards and hardware, but they couldn't bring the price down to make them, to mass produce them.
Yeah, well, they're like they're expensive now, even too, with the
but it doesn't matter anymore.
There's no anymore.
Yeah, they have the market. It doesn't matter anymore. If they jack the price up, people are still going to go to Raspberry Pi as the default.
Even if you tried, you couldn't get those prices. They're subsidized, or they're practically giving away the chips. Essentially, they are insiders, and BeagleBoard had kind of a similar thing going on, where you can buy the BeagleBoard for so much, but then hey, you can't really build a derivative product that much unless you scale it to like some ridiculous amount.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of rough, but they're industrial stuff, so it's more expensive.
That's the thing, right? And also, I feel like these big corporations, and not to talk trash on them like that, but you know, they didn't really understand what it meant to be open enough, right? I mean, like when you have like in this particular instance, Qualcomm and the Dragonboard 410C, like they had a whole layer of the boot sequence completely locked down. I think it took forever to get, what was it? What's their GPU? Adreno? I can't remember.
The GPU is, it's Adreno, I think.
Yeah, so like they had a bunch of stuff locked down, and I remember like being in meetings and calls and stuff where like we would just plead to them to open it up, and you know, they wouldn't open it up as a secret sauce. You know, sure enough.
That's IP is their kind of their game. So.
Yeah, but there was so much other stuff that they could have leaned on in that one little piece. I didn't understand it enough back in those days, right? I was like a greenie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. So it looks like we're up to about an hour now. Do we want to throw in the last pitch from Kevo before we hit the road?
Kevin, it's on you right there.
Well, it's really up to y'all. I mean, Mark asked me, he's got a cool project that he's working on, and he wanted to show it off on the channel. If you guys have something better to talk to, that's fine with me too.
Well, no, that's why I asked. Sure. We don't have a ton of time left,
So what the kind of goal here, right, is at least to inform everyone, hey, this is where the show usually ends. But as in, you don't need to feel obligated to stick around or bad if you leave. But yeah, look, Tyet's asking you to show it. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So all right then, let me share my screen.
And I might be bowing in and out, but I'll stick around for you guys to keep going as long.
Yeah, I would say maybe 5-10 minutes is not going to kill anyone.
Nah, it shouldn't take too long. Should not take too long if I can get everything set up properly here. But all right, so ideally you can see my screen here. I'm going to open up the project here. So this is ProtoBoard. We've all seen this. We've shown this off a couple of times. This particular project is actually a hexapod that Mark has been working on, and you kind of see this this image here as kind of what he's trying to rebuild here. And there's a lot of different things happening here, and still a lot left to do on here. But one of the things he wanted me to show off is, you know, how could we actually turn this into a 3D model, or at least a concept of a 3D model. And so he wanted us to show off ForgeCAD, which is a prompt to model system. And so I can ask Claude to take my ProtoBoard project and try to rebuild it in ForgeCAD. So I was actually going to show off what that actual process looks like here. So I've got a lot of things running here. So it may fail entirely. We shall see. We shall see.
So I'm going to open up this web interface.
Yeah. So this is a CAD software. So the actual work is being done at a kernel level. There's a geometry kernel that ForgeCAD here, the creator behind ForgeCAD, he's been working on for a very long time. It's based off of the open source. I don't remember the exact acronym. I apologize. If anybody's interested, leave a comment, and I'll go back and find it for you guys. But he's using an open source geometry kernel for a lot of the CAD work that he's doing here. And he essentially wanted to build a platform where he could easily prototype 3D models and have them be parametric, fully spec'd out, so you can change anything about it and have it be incredibly snappy here. So I am actually going to do a new project here called Hexapod. Okay, script execution timed out 30 seconds. Come down to 30 seconds. So it's been a hot minute since I've done this here. So I was going to grab an instance of Claude here. Let's see if it can connect to the CLI. So everything should be running off of a CLI here. and I should be able to connect to it. And then Claude is running slow too because I got a million things open. That's so funny. To ForgeCAD. All right, so I did a bunch of typing. Let's see how long it takes to actually snap in there. And yeah, like Robert was saying, you do not have to save for any of this stuff, but
can you connect to ForgeCAD?
So I have a CLI that you download from ForgeCAD, and Claude Code should have access to the CLI to make any changes into the project. And it's been a hot minute, and there's been a lot of updates. So let's see, open ForgeCAD and protoboard. No, I'm not asking you to call protoboard here. Let's see.
Is it trying to go through protoboard?
Yeah, it's trying to. It's trying to. So let me do this real quick. Let me open up this project here. And you connect to this protoboard project, and then I am going to point to this context file here. Copy path. Copy path. Okay. All right. Connected Hexapod, Raspberry Pi controlled. Okay, cool. I want to make a 3D model using ForgeCAD, and then I'm going to send that file path. That's going to give it some context. I don't remember the exact saves here. I can always do /MCP and see if I have any information about it. I do not, unfortunately. Yeah, no. Okay, that's okay. I'll give it a second to think about it and kind of see if it can figure out exactly where this stuff is located.
So is it actually going to like draw this thing into the program for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll pull up, as we're waiting, I'll pull up a test I did a while back. So this is all JavaScript. The entire CAD model is JavaScript. And so any variable that I create here is actually going to get reflected into the 3D model. And down here in the corner, you can see that it's currently rendering the 3D model. So it takes a little bit of time for it to render a fresh model. But once you have it rendered in there, it's super responsive. So my goal is to get this up and running so you can at least see it. And this is local based too. So all the files are local. So every time I build a model, everything is local, which means Claude Code, Codex, Gemini, any of your,
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
They can look at the JavaScript file and generate it. And I'll let this guy.
Did it load? Not seeing any pictures.
I don't think so. It's supposed to be done. Let me refresh the page here. Geometry kernel.
Yeah.
Be done like dismiss. So I. Hexapod. Pro. In the protoboard project.
Interesting.
He's going to run there. And this guy is not loading to me. It says script execution timeout. So I'm wondering if there's a console error. For this guy.
Changed. Oh, well.
Yeah, something changed. Oh, well.
Yeah.
If I can't do the ring, that's okay. Not too big of a deal.
Did not shine upon you.
Scope dismissed. Full mechanical assembly. Let's just do body and legs. Typical values. recipe. Match.
Or so it understands geometry enough to render 3D models, huh?
Yeah, let me go to their main website here, and at least you can see something visual here. And he has a very active Twitter post, a Twitter channel where he posts models that he's worked on and things that he's made. So here's a great example of one of the ones. And open this model here. Maybe I can jumpstart it here by opening up this model.
Oh wow!
Hey, look at that.
Okay.
I'm not sure why the other ones weren't working there. That's so funny.
Oh yeah, it's even got like a lens effect on the glass part of it, which is kind of cool.
Oh wow, yeah, it's a transparency effect to it. Ah, that's so cool. I'd never noticed that. Good spot.
It's like shades. Interesting. Yeah, I think maybe we need to, like, if we want to like make something real quick, I think maybe dedicating an episode to it so you can try it out.
Yeah.
You know, kick the tires for a little longer. I don't want to try to drag it out.
No,
I
don't want to waste anybody's time when I can't get this up and running. I'll run through it a couple of times. I'll try to troubleshoot what's happening. But yeah, we just kind of wanted to show off what, some of the cool things you can do. A lot of the cool tools coming out. And I mentioned parametric before, so I can do frame depth here. I can change this. It'll re-render, and because of the parametric model, it'll actually change the model.
Yeah. Okay. That's the kind of the power of the code. That's. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Well, we can definitely jump in there, and I'd love to build an actual project, not just something for show.
Yeah.
Actually build a real like enclosure for something, and kind of show off what the benefits of this are outside of just generating cool ideas that don't actually attribute to real world values. That's kind of where people kind of end up at a dead end, is how do I take this and actually use it? So I've been playing around with it, doing a couple projects with it, and seeing if I can't put something together. So but I'll jump back here.
Sure.
Stop sharing my screen here, but
yeah, I think adding a page on the devEco.io that kind of goes through the process, kind of, or a tutorial or something. Maybe have like snippets of like what you've done, and then kind of walk people through what's required and all this good stuff would be cool. I think it would help you organize your thoughts, and then maybe you can make some short videos, something like that kind of shows off like the dynamic nature of the program or some feature of it. I think it'd be cool. And like having it do something practical really helps people solidify like kind of everything. So maybe next time we can, I think we should probably have something kind of at least penciled in before we start the show. But like if you want to show like progress, that's fine. But yeah, it's really just like you want to make sure it's a little more refined, and that way we don't run into this, the demo gods.
You guys are doing great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we probably don't have a whole lot of time left. We're already like 13 minutes over. But we started about 3 minutes late. So 10 minutes over. Not bad. Do we want to like try to we could probably hold off on the voting for a new project, or I can do it on the Discord, or create something and post it to the GitHub, and then post it for people to vote on the next project, so we can ramp up, start a new thing, and there's a pretty good list of projects, but there's always it's an open project, And I really want to work on things where I'm actually collaborating with other people. So if you have an idea, come and like pitch it, create a pull request or at least a ticket on the repository, and then we can start hammering on it. So we can have some fun. Like robots, I think is kind of like one of the big ones. And hopefully we get actually working on one eventually. Something cool.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so that's it for today. That was devOSH Live. And
Fade out. Do we say goodbye now?
fading out.
Okay, bye everyone. Thank you. Check out the GitHub. Check out deveco.io. Join us on Discord. Everything's in the description. Kevin, Mike, you guys rock. Mark, who was here earlier. Take care. Bye everyone.
Peace.